Hello everyone, thank you for coming to my channel to watch this video. I hope today I can help you to resolve this issue with a flashing airbag light. Keep in mind, a flashing airbag light is giving you a code, an error code. How do you understand the code the car is giving? So you need to count the number of flashes. To do that, uh, again, the first number of flashes is going to give the first digit, the second number of flashes the second digit. So in my case it was 19. 19 I looked up online, it means open circuit, and it means that on many cars, I believe many Japanese cars, but even American cars, 19 is open circuit. Open circuit means one of the components on our electric system, airbag electric system, is disconnected. It could be one of the plugs, there are about 6 plugs, or it could be the controller, but that's extremely rare, or it could be the clock spring, like in my case and many cases. Why? Because when you drive your car maybe 100,000 miles or more, and it's been driven a bit roughly, it's possible that um, the wiring inside your steering wheel, inside the clock spring, can become disconnected or just slightly loose. All you need is a disconnection, partial disconnection, and your system will give you an error. So let's get started. So first thing to do, safety. Two safety tips. So number one, disconnect the battery for at least 1 hour, and all you have to do is disconnect the negative terminal. And number two, when you deal with the airbag, deal with extreme care and make sure it's facing upwards when you lay it on the floor. When you lay it on the floor, make sure it's facing upwards. So in case of explosion, it's gonna just stay in place instead of being catapulted. Okay, let's get started. So we're looking at our clock spring. This is for a 2010 Mazda 3. That's my case. It's got two connectors, one for the multimedia system and one for the airbag itself. So make sure, obviously, that your connectors match your configuration in your car. So let's go to the next slide. Here we go. So these are my car. So the first thing to do is remove the airbag enclosure, which is in this square right here where the emblem is. So to do that in my case, just go with your hands right behind this side. And this side you're going to find two plastic covers. Those plastic covers you can move just with your nails. And behind those, half-inch deep, there are two bolts. There are 10 millimeters in my case. I use a socket and remove those two bolts. Keep in mind that for all this process, all you need, in my case, 2010 Mazda 3, a 10 millimeter socket and a 21 millimeter socket, and then a Phillips screwdriver and a very small flat screwdriver. So back to our step by step, we're going to remove the two bolts, like I said. Another tip, take pictures of all the steps. Every time you remove one of the components, take a picture so you're going to be able to go backwards if you have to do, if you make mistakes or if you don't remember how something was in place. So next step right here, this is our airbag, and it's right now it's facing downwards, and at this point it's kept together by three connectors, one here that I already removed, and all you have to do is apply gently pressure on the clip here. When you do that, it's going to slide to the left side and out, and here use the flat screwdriver, the little flat screwdriver, and gently pry under these little covers. Be careful because these are made of plastic, so they could break. I mean, worst case scenario, you can order them on eBay or on Amazon, but just apply your pressure and get this out. And same thing here. Here it's already gone. And then once you're done with that, again, use a screwdriver to remove the entire plug and the entire plug. At that point, your entire airbag enclosure is ready to come out. Here we go. So we remove the airbag enclosure, and at this point all you have, okay, there's this plug right here kept together by another clip. The clip is on this side here. Use a flashlight to better see how the connector is kept together, and that's really the only tricky thing of the entire process, is really how to remove these connectors, because you don't want to break them, obviously. So look how the clip keeps together the connector. In many cases, all you have to do apply pressure with the screwdriver gently and then pull it on the other side. Okay, so once that's moved, all you have to remove is the entire steering wheel. At this step, make sure, number one, the steering wheel is straight, as you see here, so horizontal, perfectly horizontal. And then get off the car, make sure that your wheels are facing forward, they are straight, perfectly aligned. Failure to do that could really give you problems, because then maybe you have to redo the alignment or stuff like that. So very simply, like I said, make sure your wheels are aligned and your steering wheel is straight. Easy. Once you've done that, use your 21mm socket and remove this bolt right here. At this point, the steering wheel will come out easily with no resistance. Next step, the steering wheel is gone. At this point, we're ready to remove our clock springs. But we have an enclosure to open. This enclosure is made of upper part and lower part, kept together by just two simple Phillips screws down here. Use an average screwdriver, a middle-sized screwdriver. Remove, again, use a flashlight to easily locate the screws, but they're easily to spot again and easily accessible. When you do that, these two parts, they're kept together by some plastic pins, so make sure that uses some care to separate the two parts, and they should come apart as in the next picture. Here we go. So here, these are the pins here, so you should have no problems. Put your fingers in the middle. At this point, you're able to separate the two parts, and you're able to access. There are two Phillips screws, one at the top and one at the bottom, and just use a screwdriver, remove the two screws, obviously making sure they don't fall in here, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. At this point, you're ready to take out your clock spring. It's going to come out without resistance pretty easily. Keep in mind that when you put in the new clock spring, if it comes from the factory, make sure it's aligned horizontal, because again, we need horizontal clock spring, horizontal steering wheel, and like I said, aligned or straight wheels. If your clock spring doesn't come from the factory centered, or it doesn't come with a blockage so it can't turn left and right, you need to make sure it is centered. How do you do that? How do you do that? You need to count the numbers of turns, because on a 2010 Mazda 3, it's got the total number of turns of six turns, or 6.5. So the idea is to move completely to the right and then count 3.5 or 3 to the left. Once you do that, the two pins, plastic pins here, needs to be aligned, like we said. Once they're aligned, we're ready to follow our steps backwards. And we put back our two Phillips screws. We put together the two plastic enclosures, so we go back to one enclosure like this. At this point, we're ready to put back our steering wheel. Here we go. And another key element here is when you put back this bolt, make sure you know how much strength you need to apply, and I recommend you to refer to your manual to find out what's the torque you need to use on the steering wheel, because that's key. Obviously, you don't want the steering wheel to come off or to be loose when you're driving, so be safe. Okay, put this plug back. Okay, one trick I recommend: when you put these plugs back, I recommend using a contact cleaner. You put the contact cleaner, like for example a WD-40 contact cleaner, to clean your contacts. Put the plug back, and we're back to this ones. Same thing here, you clean your contacts with the contact cleaner. Put back your plugs, put back your covers, and put back your final bolts, and you're ready to put your battery, connect your battery back, and turn on your car, and hopefully your light should be off. If you like this video, please give it a like. Thank you so much. Bye.